Hi, friends. This is Unit 2, Lesson 9 for second grade math. You've now learned 3 different ways to add. You've learned, well, technically 4, but we have the show all totals method right here. We have new groups below, but you can also put your new group above. And we have the drawing method or the proof drawing method. Today, we are going to practice each of those methods on some problems. I really want you to get used to doing the methods. You don't always have to do all of the different methods, but you need to be good at doing one of them. And if you really like the drawing method, that's great, but you're also going to need to be really good at doing show all totals or new groups above and new groups below, because when you get into third grade and you start using bigger numbers and you're into multiplication, you're going to need to know how to use one of these methods. So we will still use the drawing method a little bit today, but we are going to focus mostly on show all totals and new groups above. So as we work through this page, I'm going to tell you a method that I want you to use, and you must use that method. When we get to the back side, then you'll get to choose which method you want to use to solve your problems. Make sure that you have a pencil. You have page 91 from your math book, and let's go ahead and get started. So for our first 2 problems, we are going to practice using the drawing method. So, drawing method looks like this, and you start out by drawing both of your numbers using boxes, sticks, and circles. So, I have 39. I'm going to draw my 3 10 sticks and my 9 circles. And I'm going to draw 9 10 sticks and 7 circles. So that's my first step in the drawing method. Draw out both numbers. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my ones and I'm going to say, do I have 10 or more? If I have 10 or more, I'm going to circle my group of 10. So right here, I see a group of 5 and another group of 5. So right here is my little group of 10. And I always like to write a 10 right there. Okay. Now I'm going to look at my tens and see if I have 10 or more tens to make a new 100. So I know this is a group of 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 4. And then I have 3. So I definitely have more than 10. I'm going to put my box around these 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to take 2 tens from here to make my 100. And I'm going to write 100 up there. So now I have my answer. I just have to count it up. So I know that this is 100. So my hundreds count is right here. I have, let's count the tens. 10, 20, don't forget this one, 30, so 3 tens. And then how many extra ones do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my answer is 136. And I did that all based off of my drawing and grouping in groups of 10. Okay, let's try another one using the drawing method. So right here, I'm going to draw both of my numbers. So go ahead and do that. And now what I can do is I can do the same thing. I can start with my ones and see, do I have 10 or more? If I do, I'm going to circle them up. So I have 9 and 3. So that's definitely more than 10. So I'm going to take 1 from up there. So there's my 10. Now I'm going to count my tens. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I need to combine 10 of these. So I'm going to take these 5, these 3, that's 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to put a box around all but one of them. I'm going to write 100 up there. Now I can fill in my answer. So I'm going to work backwards this time. So I have 2 ones left over. So that goes in my ones town. I have a 10 stick right here and another group of 10 right there. So another 2. And then I have 1 hundreds group. So a 1 goes right there. Now, maybe the drawing method is not your favorite. You have to be very careful in your drawings and what you're doing and make sure it's nice and neat. So it can be a little challenging. Now, let's move on to the next set of problems. And this time we're going to do we're going to do new groups above and new groups below. We'll do show all totals at the bottom because there's a little bit more room. So now we're going to be focusing on this method right here. We're going to do it in both ways. We're going to put our new groups above one time and we're going to put our new groups below another time. Okay, so for the first one, let's start with new groups below. So we're going to do it exactly like this one where the new groups are going to go below right on that equal line. So I look at my ones town, I say, okay, I have 8 plus 7. That equals 15. I know there's only room for a 5 in my ones town, and I'm going to put my new group right there on the equal line under my 8. Okay, now I can add the rest. So I have 5 plus 8. I know that equals 13, plus 1 more equals 14. But I know there's not enough room for 14 right there. So I have another new group right there. And now I have 0 plus a 0 plus 1, and I get 145. So that is using new groups below, okay? But now let's look at what new groups above would look like. So I'm going to go to the next problem. I have 2 plus 7. Well, I know that 2 plus 7 is just 9. So all I need to put is my 9 right here. There's no new groups. I didn't have anything in my tens town like I did right here. It's just a 9. So now I can go into my tens town and I have 7 plus 3, which equals 10. So I can put my 0 right here and then my new group right there. Nothing else in hundreds town, so I know that it's just a 1. So you always have to be super careful and make sure you're not just putting a new group to put a new group. This one didn't have a new group when it had the 9. This one did have the new group when it had the 15. Okay? If you need to pause the video, you may. Otherwise, we're going to move on to the last set of practice problems that we're going to do together. And we're going to use show all totals. So remember, with show all totals, you start in the tens town and you're going to add these numbers as if they were tens because they're in the tens town. So it's 4 tens and 8 tens. So if 4 plus 8 equals 12, then I know that 40 plus 80, remember this, equals 120. I add the 0, add the 0, add the 0, add the 0. So I write 120. Now I can add my ones. I know I have 9 ones and 5 ones, so that equals 14. Put in my plus sign, draw my equal sign, and now I can add up my tens and my ones. So I have 0 plus 4, which is 4, 2 plus 1, which is 3, and 1 plus imaginary 0, which is 1. So I get a total of 134. All right, one more practice problem that we're going to do together before you have some time to practice on your own. So we're going to do show all totals again. I'm going to start in my tens town. I know that 9 plus 5 equals 14. So 90 plus 50 equals 140. So I'm going to write 140, lining up my 0 under my 2, my 4 under my 5, and my 1 under the plus sign. Now I'm going to add my 4 and my 2. I have 4 ones and 2 ones, and all I get is 6. So I'm going to put my 6 right under my 0, and now I can add up these numbers. I have 0 plus 6, which is 6, 4 plus nothing, which is 4, and 1 plus nothing, which is 1. So I get an answer of 146. Okay, friends, when you're ready, turn your paper over. So you have 4 problems to do. I'm going to have you in a second pause the video, and you're going to solve each of these problems. You can use any method you want. You can use all the same method. You can use each a different method. But I will be reviewing how to do all of them with each method. So pause the video, solve these 4 problems, and then we'll check back together. Okay, friends, I'm going to solve each of these problems using each method just so to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing. So I have my first one is I'm going to do new groups above here, or you can use it as new groups below. So I have 1 plus 7, that gives me 8. Guess what, friends? There's no new group. And then 6 plus 3 is 9. Guess what else? No new group. So this one is just 98. It's just adding, right? I can do show all totals with this as well. Let me show you what that looks like. So I have 6 plus 3, or 60 plus 30, which equals 90, plus 1 plus 7, which equals 8, and then I have 98. You can also do the drawing method, which for this one is kind of interesting because there's no new groups. I don't have a 10 to circle, and I don't have 10 ones to circle. So this is just the drawing method. Kind of interesting, huh? All right, let's look at the next one. So I'm going to start with new groups above and below, and then I'll do show all totals and drawing method. So I have 3 plus 8, which is 11. I know one of my ones goes here, and the other one goes right there, or right here if you did new groups below. Then I have 1 plus 5 plus 9. So 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 5 more is 15. If I did show all totals, this is what it would look like. I have 50 plus 90. 5 plus 9 is 14. So 50 plus 90 is 140. And I have 3 plus 8, which is 11. And if I add those together, I get 151. And drawing method. I drew 53 and 98. I know that if I take 2 ones, that's a new 10. And I can put a box around these for 100. And I would count it up. So I have 100. Let's see. Okay, I forgot one of my 10s there. So make sure I had the right amount. I have 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 51. So 151. All right, number 5. I'm going to start with new groups above. So I do 2 plus 0, which just gives me a 2. No new groups. 4 plus 8, which is 12. So my 2 goes there, and I can put my new group right there. And then I can bring it down to get 122. If I wanted to use show all totals, I would do 4 plus 8 is 12. So 40 plus 80 is 120. And then 2 plus 0 is just 2. And I can add those both together and get 122. I can also do my drawing method. I have no 10s or no ones to circle to make a 10, but I do have some 10s to circle. So here's 8. I'm going to take 2. That gives me a 100, and I'm going to double check. So I have 100, 10, 20, 21, 22, 122. And my last one, so I'm going to start with new groups above. So I have 6 plus 7, which is 13. So there's my 3 goes there, and my new group goes either above my 6 or under my 2. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 2 more is 9. So that's my new groups above, new groups below. I can also solve it using show all totals. So I know that 6 plus 2 is 8. So 60 plus 20 is 80. And then I have 6 plus 7, which is 13. Draw my equal line, and I also get an answer of 93. And finally, we have our drawing method. I'm going to start with my 10s. I know that if I grab 3 more 1s, I will make a 10. So there's my 10. And now I don't have enough 10s to make 100, so I can count and see if I get 93. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 91, 92, and 93. So there we go. All right, last little part. We got to help Puzzle Penguin out. Puzzle Penguin says, I know that 3 10s plus 4 10s equals 7 10s. Did I make a mistake? So looks like what Puzzle Penguin did is he started adding in the 10s town. Is that correct for new groups above, new groups below? No, it's not. So I want you to solve this problem using new groups above or new groups below. Pause the video. Okay, so if we have 8 plus 6, that equals 14. So I know there's enough room for my 4 right there, and I'm going to put a new group above right there. Now I can add my 10s. 1 plus 3, which is 4, and then a doubles fact, which is 8. All right, friends. So don't be like Puzzle Penguin. If you're doing new groups above or new groups below, you must start in the 1s town. Show all totals, you start in the 10s town. And I really want to make sure that you're getting good at one of those methods. That's all for today, friends. See you later.